Second, raise your hand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everybody to our December 15th department head meeting. You may proceed to approve the minutes of our December 1st meeting.
Make a motion to approve minutes as written for December 1st meeting.
Makes the motion, is there a second?
Second.
And you second. All those in favor of the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. And so that passes. We'll continue with the approval of claims, starting off with the payroll voucher for the period ending December 12th.
Motion to approve payroll voucher ending December 12th.
Tim made the motion, is there a second?
Second.
I need a second. All those in favor of the payroll presented, say aye.
Aye.
Both same sign. And passes. Next up will be for the accounts payable for the period ending December 15th.
Motion to approve accounts payable dated December 15th.
Bruce makes the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Ian make a second. All those in favor of the payables as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Or vote same sign. And so that passes. We'll continue on with the police department report.
For the month of November, we had 103 cases. One citation was issued. One written warning was issued. Had 3 arrests. Responded to 6 property damage accidents. Responded to 4 injury accidents. Had 60 traffic stops conducted. Had 7 security checks. And 2 cases were filed with the prosecutor's office for the year. That's all I have on staff. On the 5th, the police department held its annual meeting, team building exercise. We issued 3 awards. Officer Levi Caudell received the Officer of the Year award. SRO Ryan Cherry received Most Dedicated award for all his work with canine hunting. And Landon LeMaster received Top Criminal Patrol. Landon has over 500 traffic stops for the year, along with work in investigation. He received an award.
What was his award called?
Landon, Top Criminal Patrol.
So that was posted on Facebook.
Yeah. Gets out fast and there's no cigarettes.
Awesome. I'm sure all those are well deserved, so we appreciate all your hard work this year and everyone within your department.
That's all.
That's a good answer.
Engineer, I'll be dismissed.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Giving out pizza with.
We'll see.
Move on to Scott and Blake.
Monthly report for November, removal of CBOE was 99.390%. Removal of total suspended solids was 99.086%. Removal of ammonia was 98.511%. Removal of phosphorus was 93.044%. Daily average flow was 257,000 gallons a day. And for the month, we treated 10,111,406 gallons, and we had no NPDS permit violations. Belt pressed 104,573 gallons. Landfill 38 .28 tons of biosolids, pretty much emptied out of the building before this weather turned. Drum screen, we had done clog yet. JC stores still are submitting their monthly forms. We did our quarterly and holiday jetting. We cleaned the manhole 431. Backed out the lift station. I seen the surpluses on the thing, so I'll just skip it. I see it on there. About 75% complete with our equipment maintenance. The next one are still outstanding items. I'm waiting on Regis to say that where our funds are before we start proceeding with getting some of those items repaired. We did get the UV all winterized. I got our MPDS permit, the draft review. It was had to have it reviewed and commented on by December the 1st. And then actually sometime over the weekend, we have received our new MPDS permit. So we're all set to go there. We had to put new tires on the ton truck. Been working on training Johnny in the lab. And then SRF's showed us with a balance of like $740. So Shannon and I are working on getting that closed out, so we'll have a check coming back for that sometime in January. That's all I got. Yeah, I know, one sheet. Yeah, about time.
I flipped it over, like, what is going on?
No, about time.
You wanted to get an extra bullet point there at the bottom.
Well, yeah, but I had nothing on it, so this course that happened, I guess.
What was Johnny's like official tag name? It's been months, been weeks, 2 months.
About a month.
Yeah.
He's already working with you. Got him trained on that. I have to look, I don't remember.
I could look and see.
It's all right.
Okay.
So we will help out on the weekends.
He's already worked one, and this next one coming up says, yeah, already got him on rotation on that.
Well, I know it's gotta be a week that we'll share that.
He's picking up the lab quick.
I was gonna say, tell him what you told us the other day. Where he wanted to take over something, you're like, eh, and then he did.
Oh.
Great.
There's a lot to learn in the lab. So I was, in my mind, was going to show him this week, this one test we were doing, and then start getting him on it. Well, the second day, he looked at me and he goes, we want to go ahead and do this part? Kind of like, it's odd for me because it's my license. And that's sometimes where I kind of get, I want to make sure no, there's no problem. I got to turn him loose. So by the third day, he ran half of it. By the fourth day, he was doing the whole test. By the fifth day, he's going out, knows what tank to grab, the samples coming in and doing it all. So it's nice. It's a huge relief.
Good deal. I'm glad that it sounds like you've got a good one that's going to, we'll see something work.
Yeah, we both got dirty too, so yeah, we're good.
Good deal. You guys have anything else for Scott? Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll turn over to Sean Street.
Have 27 locates, 0 choke ups, 0 dogs. Picked up limbs and yard waste, clean grates. Empty trash cans downtown. Made a bunch of brine. Had to work on one of the snow blades. Had to work on another one because it broke a spring. Picked up leaves, plowed snow. Worked at the park, fixing a couple busted water lines. And antifreeze the water lines that Kevin's building. And then the trees on my street.
Okay, we'll circle back around on that little business. Making brine was okay, applying brine was okay.
Yeah, we're about out of salt. We made over 5,000 gallons.
so quickly.
We just started making more today.
I guess I knew what's for John.
One showed up here, seems like we sent him.
We didn't get it.
Maybe tried. Did Jeremy show up today?
Who?
Jeremy, Good call.
But you're fully staffed now too, right?
Huh?
You're fully staffed now?
Yeah.
When did Jason ring?
September?
Yeah, so
Has it been that long?
it was just me and Chris Saturday night, Sunday, because he had the boys, so it was two of us. We worked about 12 hours. Worked about 7 in the morning. We were out.
It's so here about Sunday, but it was cold.
We still
You probably never believe it, but we're lucky because like Columbus got a lot more than we did, so,
well, ours is bottom layers of ice,
yeah,
and people ran over it.
that's not.
That's why it melted a lot today. So we put down some more sand today. And I didn't use no salt and, brine or anything, because it's supposed to be,
Supposed to be 50 or so.
40s tomorrow and 50s. I thought, let's just put sand where there's slick spots or on the shady spots, and it's gonna be, we ran the plows today to get the slush off. But some of it, what would you get? We can do.
Good deal. I appreciate your hard work. All right. Anything else for Sean? Okay. All right. Moving along, we have the park board and the school board. Brian's not able to make it tonight. He said there was nothing on the front on the school board. I mean, he's going to turn over to you if you have the updates for the park.
So they decided we need, what do we need, water, what do you call it,
Drain.
drain, before we put down, fire mulch. So we were supposed to do that today, but
Perimeter drain?
perimeter drain.
The reason why is because there's some clay underneath that sand and it's not draining in a few spots. So
Originally, they didn't think it was gonna be an issue, but now we had so much rain, they're worried about it, so.
most of it drains. There's that one area there, it's pretty bad. It
Right.
stays. It's a lot of clay, I think, is why it doesn't get in there too.
So as soon as Jeremy gets that done, then they can come put the barrier and then all the fiber. But all the equipment is installed, everything is done except for the one week that's still on cover that they've agreed to pay. But I think it's great. Still working on the basketball courts, we need to get the goals installed, but we're waiting to see what to do with the unlevel spot.
I did talk to Peach Trenching too. He's gonna come and give me a quote for running the sewer, water, whatever else.
Yeah, and so everybody think of what their ideas are for the building, trying to get everybody's ideas, what they would like to see in their building. Maybe in January we can get together and see what, their best ones are. My thoughts were like a 40 by 40 with the outside left side being 2 restrooms that are only accessible from the outside, but still a portion of the building. And then the inside be the restrooms on the back side, you know what I'm saying? With storage in the center. And then the far other side be a little kitchen area. Cause I'm not a fan of down there where the kitchen is right next to the bathroom. If you're cooking and people are using the bathroom, that's always my annoyance, so moving that to the other side and then just basic.
Counter space,
Counter space, right?
crop tops, bunch of planters.
Counter space, maybe a, what would you call it?
Island.
Like an island of some sort of counter. If somebody wants to do some kind of cooking thing, they get. And then some kind of full view door. So you can see out if it's closed was mine.
So you're seeing that, are you seeing that to the playground?
Yeah,
You're seeing
yeah.
that to basketball?
Saying out to the playground. But it's back far enough, you should be able to see everything but maybe this far corner. But then my end goal is a fence around the entire thing with one entrance. So if somebody's in there and you have a kid out there, you know what I'm saying? Like you're still watching them, but you're not panicking. Are they down the hill? Are they to the left? Are they right? You have one entrance. That's the entrance to the facility. fit more on one. Probably on the right side of the basketball court, because that would be over kids. Other than that, that's been my only thought. We have to get pricing on all that, and we have to get bids, so I think we're gonna figure out what we like, what we want, and I can bid it more. I ask for bids from people, but until you specifically know what you're bidding, it's very difficult on me. Like I went about the garage door pricing, because that's probably one of the biggest expenses. Want to make sure it'd be insulated, want to make sure it wasn't gonna break, if somebody threw a ball. And I thought that was a good idea to see out. Lucas Ackerman had that, so they were gonna give us, it was reasonably priced, I thought. And then, the rest of I've priced the metal, but then I need to price like if some other stick built, I guess, if you want to do it a little bit nicer, depending on the fun we have. Everybody can think of anything that you really want. What do you have? So like you said, I like the bathrooms on the outside too, so you don't have to leave and go over.
Yeah.
And if we get Wi-Fi over there, we have to put the Wi-Fi there, and we have to trench. So if we trench, then we can use that same line if we use Pete's trenching for sewer, water, and Wi-Fi. If we use a different company other than RMCU's Pete's, if we use a different company, then we have to do a different trench line. But if we can get Pete's to do it all, then we can cover it all under one umbrella, which we've applied for a grant for that. So maybe that could offset the other thing.
I don't know if my house that does that.
I don't either, so it's, I mean, I know we're supposed to bid it, but I don't know anybody in the world that does that.
Unless you get these big Comcast companies, whoever, then I'm sure they're gonna be really high.
So we can announce, I guess, we're looking for bids, but I don't know. Because by the time you bid two compared to one, you're talking more two.
We'll move on to old business. The first up, old business for a certain background in dead trees on High Street.
I have asked Connor, of course, in the past twice. First time he said 30 foot, we're still within that 30 foot. And then the second time I asked him, he said 60 foot. So then Sonia said, hey, get with Connor and get whatever. The original map, I forget the date he said, but it's the original plat. It says High Street, 60 foot. And then on, this is funny, on the part of Kevin Street right there, they never did show, this is a little bit, I don't know if this is the date, it says 64, something 11, something 64, and it has no street length or street width on it. But he said if you want more detail where they could find that out, which is gonna cost, I asked him and I said, well, what's the cost to get that surveyed? He said it's going to be around $2,500 to have that little piece surveyed if we wanted to do that. But he said it's probably going to be cheaper just to cut the trees down and have it surveyed. And then if it comes back surveyed and it is ours, well then it's another $2,500 that we didn't have to spend.
That's just the one section, the whole section.
That's for that block where Kevin all the way to, I don't know what it is. Looks like probably from, he's got this one here all the way up to Bridge Street. It shows 60 foot, because this was the first, this must have been the one of the units of that Brownstown that they first initially done. So Brownstown was a little bitty back then, and it only went to Bridge Street. And then they added another section, which was that section of like from Bridge to the graveyard, and they never did have a width, street width on there. So I guess however you want to take it. But he told me, he says that part's probably still 60 foot. they just meant they'd write it down, because Sycamore is still 60 foot. Elm Street's still 60 foot, Highview is 50 foot.
Did you have a chance to talk to the guy who cut the tree down for us last time? For a quote?
I have sent him messages and messages, and he never got back with
I
me.
did too, and I know him further well, he never got back to me, so.
So, and I,
Is it Mandy's?
I don't ever see him until it's mowing
I
season.
don't know.
I don't see him until it's mowing season, so I haven't seen him around. So, other than that, I called the guy from North Vernon, you know, that one that we used for that.
I can reach
stuff.
out to Mandy.
Me too. I said bring a text and I've not heard back from him, so.
And I got another place. I never did call him, but I got another, they was up there doing our church. And I've got his card, but I wanted to, you know, make sure he was gonna do this before I got any more calls, or maybe any more. Just to make sure that, you know, one come and bid it and then need to know, so.
Okay. So are the trees, whether it be 30 foot or 60 foot, does it not, it probably hasn't changed anything about if they're in the easement or not, does it?
The trees right now, I went and measured them, they're within 15 foot.
So 30 or 60 doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter.
They're our responsibility.
So it's $1,500, some cost anyway, but that one, I will redirect it to the towards.
But I would say the more trees you got, probably the cheaper it's gonna be too. Cause they're, you know. I've been waiting on that one in our alley, if I will, one in our alley, I'll just wait for that one too, then we can, you know.
If I get response from Mandy, I'll send it to you. I won't cover any of this with them.
If you want, I'll call that other guy that done our church, that trained, I forget the name of it, Roll or something.
If I take a picture of them, or not.
I have his brochure and his card and everything, so I can call him too, and he has one of the jacks that can get in our alley. You know, get back there and set it up, cut it. Too, so.
And I assume they would know if we need to call to get in by clearance or having them call out to make sure that they can shut something off, but it's
It's
all
right there, yeah.
right there. So you know, they may not say it's gonna affect it, it's gonna, hopefully could affect it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that being that close to line, we could have a rainfall and you know, I don't wanna see the worst, but the worst could happen.
Okay, so as of right now, we have no hard quotes, but we've got
I do not.
leads for 3 different things.
Yes.
Like,
I just wanna make sure before I call him, you know, so they're not going out, I wanna make sure.
So if Kevin and those guys call in, to follow up, I'm allowed to say, you're gonna take care of that.
we have to, like, funding is,
We got Zach, you got way on base.
Yeah. I think they sent out some guidance on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that my suspicions are correct. It sounds like there are trees. So, and I just for liability, it's getting it done sooner than later, just with all the weather and ice.
Well, that one
Bet.
that lost that big one, you got root growing out of it, so it's not long for the world either. And with the bus parked in there.
Yep.
I used to see something like that.
I guess in the future, maybe this is probably a discussion for later, but let's just say if there's a tree on property, we think it's a threat, if the landowner doesn't want to remove, we have to still have the right to remove it, right?
Different conversation. I think that when you look at our ordinances for maintaining your property in a safe way, we would have, we need to give them notice and opportunity first to try to remedy the threat, and if they don't do it, we can do it, pay for it, and then seek reimbursement, put a lien.
so I'm asked opposite, if a homeowner, by golly, trying to keep a tree, is there a waiver, is there some way to
I'll-
transfer what responsibility to them from the town?
If the tree is on our property, then they don't have any right to say what we do with that property.
I guess that's what I was asking, because right now it appears to be on our property, so it's our responsibility. So let's just say, and they want it removed, but let's just say that someone doesn't want that tree removed, and we deem it being a safety issue, then we can.
We can still, yeah,
remove it.
we absolutely, just as if it was two private landowners, someone didn't want you to remove a tree from your own land,
Okay, all right. Gotcha.
they don't have any say, legal standing.
Well, then, I'm getting way down the road here, but then we all will have to say what people plant there and don't plant there.
Or I'm coming back saying you need to do some kind of maintenance program, we go through and identify stuff that could be, to try to
That would be really smart,
head this process off.
maybe annually,
All right.
just be like, okay. This tree could be a problem, could be a problem.
I can see that stuff in my locates, if someone's gonna plant a tree or something next to the road, if they say planting a tree, you know, we can, not say find out, I might be able to find out close to where they're planting, you know, or tell them, say it's gotta be, I'm gonna have to measure the road and say it's gotta be at least this, past this line.
I was thinking more like yours, or it's a new plant, hey, we need to communicate with them, or we need to remove it before it becomes that big of an issue. Yes. So your part too, I think we need to also, with our existing issue, and then by those as well.
Yeah.
So, and you think the locate process is best or not, or however you think you can.
Well, I mean, if it comes up on the locate saying, you know, they're planting a tree, well, then I can, you know, either call whoever or just talk to the landowner and get a hold of Mindy or Sonia, so they can't look at it, give me a phone number or something, or whoever lives there, then I can say, hey, you know, try to find out where they're planting it at, so they're not planting it on us. Just to save our butt later on of removing a tree. Yeah. There is some there on Ashland, that guy makes that too, but.
All right, I'd say as you get those,
I don't get them very many, you know, every once in a while someone's planting a tree, but.
as you get close, I guess, just.
Oh, the close, yes.
Keep us updated, bring them in for.
Yeah.
That's review.
I'll wait on hers and then I'll call whoever that people are to see if they.
We do. Next up under old business is the land from the BCCCSB and Hoosier Christian Village.
I think that takes up two of our ordinances, am I correct?
That's correct, yeah, so.
17.
Yeah, so
16 and 17.
it's been off discussed, but we, are now.
And I emailed all those to you guys today.
So looking at this, resolution 2025-16. Be the resolution from the town of Brownstown authorizing acceptance of land from school corporation with right of way.
And that includes the correct legal description so that we are not going to be responsible. Or from the school corporation, excuse me, the road is finished, completed. We don't have any lingering issues with unfinished coatings or anything of that nature. And I recently got the quitclaim deed from the council for the school corporation.
Okay.
Still not signed, but I have language in there. I'm not gonna wait any longer for them to do that, so we're in a position where I've got all the names. It's subject to, so as soon as they get that deed signed, then we can get that deed recorded along with the plat and the legal description, and we'll be good to go with a copy of the resolution. And similarly, the land triangle area from Hoosier Christian Village, and then there was an issue with respect to the front yards of some of the elderly homes that we did not want to control or own, and that Hoosier Christian Village didn't want to convey. So we had Dan Lynn draft a legal description, so the legal description reflected in the resolution and in the deed will be only for the land that we need in order to make sure we have access to that secondary route to the school.
Okay.
Is that all on one
Is that all 16 or is that 16 and 17?
They're two separate ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I separated those out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did two more resolutions. I can describe those now, if you guys want to do those, and then we can talk about it.
Let's do these two first,
Sure.
and then come back to the other ones. You have any questions, concerns over resolution 2025-16 or 17?
No, Crystal, I don't have one.
I have the accounts payable that we sent for.
Did you guys get them?
I can't even pull anything out my phone.
But Tim, you have them?
I had, but yeah, it won't, that over here, but I read where it down, it was on here, so yeah, I got it.
You saw?
The phones didn't work today either.
Hmm.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not be updating.
Yeah, I can't access that.
Yeah, that's the idea.
This was what, one thing over here, that the others on here.
I'm down Wi-Fi.
I might run them on there.
Here, while we're at.
Yeah, I don't get a login here, but it only reaches from the courthouse, or the judicial center, so yeah.
I haven't viewed them on my phone yet, so
I think that's what I thought it was, the way down there.
I looked at stuff on the computer earlier today, but
All the state legislator, Paul Owens, we have an open forum with someone from.
No, yeah,
Verizon or
it's
something.
yeah. It's ridiculous. It's not as here when I travel, I'll have four bars where all of a sudden just drop the call. And or pick place. And ironically, and that's probably coincidental, but most times I do it, I can see it at a cell phone tower.
I'm saying,
That's what somebody
you
else
got
said.
one, I've got one in our backyard, too. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
And Verizon's what our officers are on.
What's that?
Verizon's what our officers are on,
Okay.
so when they do that, they can't communicate, I mean, radios, but
Right.
not with their. We can't communicate with them, because we don't have radio.
You know, ones, like, you have to count, stays in the back.
We have to call dispatch and go through that. Which we do.
What's your thoughts? What's your opinion?
I use this for my, meetings and payroll. I like this setup. So when he quits doing meetings, I'll have to make one myself, I guess, like Excel and whatever. But seeing the whole year for the meetings and for payroll works good.
Any other discussion over these? It's not a motion.
Motion to approve ordinances 2025-16 and 2025-17.
All right, Crystal, thank you for the motion, is there a second?
second.
All right, thank you for the second. All those in favor of approving resolution 2025-16 and 17, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign, and so that passes.
Are you happy now to start taking care of the roads? No, I mean,
Yes.
all three of them?
I'm not sure what your approach or policy is now, honestly, off the top of my head, but
So, Sugar Down. I don't know the name of the road it's going.
There's Sugar, there's what, goes from Sugar down to the school. And then there's Water Street that comes straight in. And then, Jackson Street comes into the original entrance.
Would that be considered part of that? Would we have to? The school installed, speed bumps. From intersection, you got sugar, you got the road, then you got water, anything to the left of that. Did we obtain any of that through this?
That's one right next to the school. That's
Right.
Right in between the school. and
I'd have to take a look, honestly, or we can take a look and make sure, but we own it at this point.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I'll make sure to clarify with you, so that way you know exactly what it is from me. I don't know. I've been, yeah. I could probably recite the legal description, but in terms of exactly the street names, I don't know. Okay.
Alright. Now, let's move on to resolution 2025-12. Which establishes surplus property. We will speak on this one as well.
Oh, yeah, just briefly, we already discussed the surplus, the new surplus policy. It's primarily focused, was drafted in line with respect to some of the unique equipment that the sewer department has, but it's applicable to whatever we want to do. We haven't done a resolution officially adopting it yet, so we've already, I think, voted on the policy is acceptable. This resolution will officially enshrine it into municipal law.
Okay.
Do we have a police car too? We need to get rid of it.
Same policy will apply.
They have to strip it down first, but then.
Okay. And it's great is it outsources a lot of the administrative stuff to you, so we don't have to discuss it at every meeting. All final sales we will need to handle, but in terms of certain procedures and things, it makes it streamlined, more efficient, and cost savings, I think, for the taxpayer.
I'll send you a copy of it too. The ordinance.
Any other questions, concerns over resolution 2025-12?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Pass that down.
Rick Morris contacted me.
Oh, good.
I sent him a text, he's asking for locations.
Okay, I'll erase my message to call Mandy.
Yeah.
This is just for the sewage department? No, it's for all town hall surplus equipment.
The reference is exhibit A on here.
Mm-hmm.
What is exhibit A, exactly?
That's the original policy that was already distributed, so you guys are already in possession of that.
Okay.
And so I would just attach that along with this and the books of resolutions.
Any other questions, concerns over the 12? If not, entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve, resolution 2025-12, reference to surplus equipment.
Okay, Tim making the motion, is there a second? Christian making the second. All those in favor of approving resolution 2025-12, say aye. And those opposed, same sign. That's that. Move on to resolution 2025-15.
This came up because I mentioned it in a meeting, some residential people who are not taking our trash service, but they're on our sewer service. And Tim brought up that he didn't think that was supposed to be an option. Businesses, yes, because they have their own dumpsters, but residents, if you're on our trash or on our sewer, you're on our trash. So since in the past, that's not been followed through like that, I thought I'd have Jack make a motion that starting January, we reach out to just a handful of the people and tell them that that's no longer allowed per this resolution, and that if residential homes are on our sewer, they have to take our trash. Then we don't have to worry about that anymore.
You know, these people don't have a business, right, where they like take it to the business.
Well, they take it to work. Instead of paying our trash, they put it in their car and take it to their work. But,
But their work's not their business.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's their house trash.
But they're not taking their house trash to their business, so they're paying. You don't own a business.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not business
Business.
owners.
No. The guy just takes it to his work.
Yeah, and maybe I'm wrong, but I thought the whole premise of the town paying directly to Rumpke was to help keep the town, so make sure that
Right.
everyone's getting rid of their trash on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Because if we had the option, there's gonna be more than a handful of people that choose not to
Yeah,
participate.
and that's the way it's been handled in the past, and so I thought that
We'll
was
go back
the way
to
it was supposed to be.
Burning the barrels and
Right.
having incinerators in backyards. And
There's just a handful, but if we approve this and then in January, we can contact those people and tell them that it's no longer an option for residential.
And I cited those reasons you guys quoted directly in the resolution, indicating that to reduce the risk of illegal dumping and improper disposal, minimizing environmental hazards, and providing equitable distribution of service costs amongst the entire community.
And then you get that Indiana code in there that
We have
the right to do that.
absolutely, and we have full legal authority to do this.
Anything that says they can't keep them out on the street all week.
Yeah, actually there is.
There is an
Yeah,
ordinance for that.
24 hours, I think this was 10, but
I get a lot of trash in my yard because there are dumpsters up the hill that get knocked over and washed down the road.
You also lots of, I gotta go around plowing snow.
Oh, I'm sure. I just know going up Spring Street alone, I bet there are 20 dumpsters between my house and Brasstown Christian Church that never leave the street.
Well, about 2 blocks up
Fishing
from
in
that.
the orange.
you might start a side business picking them up, charging them up a fee.
All right, any other questions, concerns over resolution 2025-15? If not, I can take it.
Motion to approve the ordinance 2025-15.
Okay, Christian makes the motions or second.
Second.
Brian makes the second. All those in favor of resolution 2025-15, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. So that passed. Now going to signing for 14. Yeah.
This is the additional appropriation we talked about last time, and it got put in the Tribune, and it needs, voted on tonight and signed. There is $120,000 in personal services and supplies, sorry, for the general fund under the clerk. It's her, money from Schneck, your, grant.
Help you, Jessica.
Yes, you got that 120,000. We deposited it But then when I spend it, it shows as
Right.
having to do an additional appropriation, because it showed it coming out, but it wasn't in the budget. So it's really, yes. The 60,000 under other services and charges is our, we were over on our, that's where I put Reedy, Hinton, which is our offsite backups. Plus, we had to get all new from Hinton this year, remember with the Windows upgrade. First choice, they come and do our spring and fall on our HVAC. That category was over. So that's what that is. And then the 20,000 for the cemetery is promoting.
It's on the 60,000 with the Reedy and Hinton first choice and everyone that you mentioned.
Mhm.
Was there, I thought we have like this one, say first choice, don't we have like an annual contract with them because there was something, set number, but we went above it, if we didn't go above it, why?
For just first choice?
That's just one I picked on, I think, I thought we had an annual contract with them, where they come in and do so much maintenance or preventative maintenance.
No, they just come in the spring and fall, and I get an invoice when they leave.
But was that above what we budgeted for?
I don't know.
I mean, it's a part of the 60,000.
Right. I was just naming off the category, basically. So like, of course, our first choice may not be over, but you know, our reading was really high this year. What was the other one I had? Hinton was really high this year.
Okay, so you have a first choice, so they're not.
Right, that's just the category I put them in. I was just showing you the realm of,
They just called me because I thought we had a unknown amount, unless we had something above and beyond with the scope of their contract.
yeah, I just get a bill in spring and fall.
We did have at one point, and I don't know if whoever told it is still in business, maybe got bought out by First Choice. But I thought that at one point there was something we did, they were supposed to go
Yeah, we decided to have, he's contract, we had a.
twice a year.
Yeah, so I would just make sure that we're not in the
Like a
budget. so.
maintenance agreement.
You may just, when you mentioned it, I just assumed that we were over
Right.
budget, that's why I don't know why, because unless there's
They were
something
in it,
about
so-
outside of the scope of their agreement that takes place, it should be, we should pay them 2 times a year, and it should be exactly what we signed up for.
Okay. Yeah, they could be, and it could be all the other things that are just over.
Okay.
That's just the category that's over.
And then as far as Reed goes, we do expect that to come down in 26. We'll go start using less and less, right, for some things.
Most, I haven't been here. Most of it, it says, financial planning, and there's like 25 this month just for that. Yeah, for, went for. Yours.
So I'm just trying to understand where I'm at on my money, on my funding, so the other money that we've received is okay, right? It's not in this somewhere else, right?
Right, it's in an account.
Yeah. Another check for you.
That 833 is mine, but that other stuff is not mine. 5,000 and something, yes, please.
All right, some good idea.
Yeah, that's not mine.
This one right here.
Mhm.
You want to net? I just thought it was the other way around.
Got it.
Isn't it? Right?
Oh, RDC is its own bill. Yeah, this isn't RDC.
Okay.
Brownstown.
Okay.
So yeah, we should. Just wait on that.
Especially, I think if we'd all signed it under her name.
Well, no, but if you were signed it first, I was on the right one.
We'll put it right in here.
It was earlier.
Yeah.
We'll start here. Start here to finish here.
Why are you signing these?
Alright.
Those things that might be the next steps.
So then here's this one. To the town.
Yeah.
Did everybody sign it?
That's for you.
This is me. But then there's 5,000. I don't. It says the town, but it's not stuff that I.
This has something to do with for working with Scotland.
No, Scott has his own utility bill.
It's a special project.
Scott gets his own bill.
How many salaries do we get? RDC, town, really?
RDC, town, mine, and Scott. So I didn't get RDC this time. Unless it was. I just stuck it through everything. No, that's no better.
Divide and conquer here, design.
So yeah, Tim, if we could get rid of that $5,000, wouldn't that be?
Sign all these.
Yeah.
Would that be budget stuff?
I can say that, yes.
Or the budget form?
They got to pay by yourself on some of them. It's not like they're-
What's that?
You want to pay by yourself and one of them. It's not worth like pay, but we'll do money somewhere.
That's on, it's on the way.
Did you sign this one? You did not.
Okay, so going back to condition 2025-14, are there any other questions or concerns? It's not an entertainment motion. Chris, late for the motion, or second?
Second.
Looking for places.
I didn't think I'll open.
So, all those in favor of ordinance 2025-14, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, and so that passed. Ordinances. Going back up, we've got a sewer adjustment. For 125 South Water Street.
The apartment complex right here.
And this is for a meter leak. Okay. Here's a leak at the meter.
That's how many gallons ran through, and that's their norm.
Okay, so average sewer usage is 10,000 gallons. Gallons to be adjusted is 132,150 gallons.
And they attached, we attached their sewer bill in there, they got a $1,500 sewer bill. 1577.27.
Okay, I've been here.
day and a half of full speed.
Day and a half,
Yeah.
Full speed?
not this one, the different.
Anyway. Okay. Any questions, concerns over this?
And see if it can.
I'm gonna do it.
And then we took off the requirement to show they fixed.
Have you taken that off yet officially? I think we talked about it, so Halo.
I whited it out on the form.
So I hope they did a heck of a job fixing it.
Surely they did.
Yeah.
He probably fixed it himself.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns over this? Not an agenda motion.
I make a motion to approve the sewer adjustment at 121 South Water Street, $1,336.03.
Okay, thank you. The motion, Tim, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you for the second. All those in favor of the sewer adjustment, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, and so that passed. Okay. Next up under new business would be setting our 2026 meeting dates. Any issues with continuing with first, third, at 6? Okay. If not, we have 3 dates that will fall on national holidays that we have to take a look at. First would be January 19th, Monday, January 19th for Martin Luther King Junior Day.
Can we just go down? Our first one will be January 5th.
Okay.
Then it should be the 19th, but that's the holiday.
We good with that to Tuesday, it says,
The 20th,
the 20th. Okay, go ahead.
February 2nd. And the next one's February 16th, but that's a holiday. So move it to the 17th.
Any issues continuing that trend or next day? Okay.
March 2nd. March 16th. April 6th, April 20th. May 4th, May 18th. June 1st, June 15th. July 6th. July 20th. August 3rd, August 17th. September 7th is the holiday, so move it to the 8th. And then September 21st. October 5th and October 19th. November 2nd, November 16th. December 7th and December 21st. And then I need to send that to Aubrey.
That's something that we need to officially vote on. Would be a motion to approve the proposed 2026 meeting times.
Dates.
And dates. Mr. Lakes, your motion, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Vote passed. Okay. Do you have anything else under new business? That's 2000, first time anything else under new business. All right, you're done with the, with the motion to adjourn. Thank you much.
Right.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Adjourned.